the journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello, Planner Babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Planner chic. Gosh, I'm tongue-tied there. All right, you guys, this is a B6 Traveler's Notebook that I made about 2 years ago, and it was super fun. I just took a box, like a cereal box or a baking soda box, something like that, and I covered it with some beautiful fabric that I bought from Joann's, and then I put the elastics and all that. I love these charms that are on there right now, so I don't want to change those. One of them came from my friend Lisa. Hi, Lisa. And then I also have a charm here in the front that was actually a pair of earrings from Walmart, and then I turned one of them into a little charm. I just added a lobster claw clasp. And so I like those things, but I do want to add something starting here on the front. So if you haven't seen my Dollar Tree haul, my recent one, then just go ahead and check that out. It's the number 2 for buying DIY supplies for my planners for Christmas. So these cards came from that, and I'm just going to cut out this tag. I think it is perfect to add to the front of my Christmas Traveler's Notebook as an additional tag with the charm. So I'm just going to cut around the tag really quickly, and then I kind of had to decide what did I want to include here at the top, because there's kind of a couple of layers of holly. There's also like some crafter string, and some real pretty kind of white background piece from the buffalo check. And I at first was going to try to leave a little bit of all those additional little pieces for the different colors, but they just didn't look right when it came to the tag by the time I was going to be all finished with it. So I decided to just go ahead and cut those extra pieces off and just leave the holly. Now, I should have been using my tiny Dollar Tree scissors, which are specifically for teeny tiny spaces like this, but I didn't even think about using them until like the third DIY in this video. So you can see me struggling to get inside those little crevices. It made no sense for me to be struggling when I could have just had that pair of scissors, but oh well. So I finally get everything all cut out, and then I just really need to laminate it. So I'm going to put it in the laminating pocket. Now let me tell you about this. Normally when I laminate something, well, if I have a bunch of smaller pieces and I can put enough space between all the pieces and still have a really good seal, then maybe I'll put more than one thing in that big 8.5 by 11 pocket. But otherwise, I'll just put one thing in there because it just doesn't seal as well to me around all the pieces. And so if I have one and then I run the whole 8.5 by 11 through the machine, then the excess I use for other craft projects. Like I'll use it to make a ring bound dashboard, or to make some clear pockets on things, that kind of stuff. All different kinds of things. But what I decided to do this time instead was just to trim it first. And the reason why is sometimes it's hard for me to get that 8.5 by 11 pocket through the laminator straight, and when I don't get it in there straight, then it jams in the machine, which ruins my whole project. So I thought I'll just put a smaller piece. What I also do sometimes is I'll run the whole 8.5 by 11 in there one time, and then I'll just cut the excess and put it off the side to use for future projects, and then I'll run the piece back through the laminator. So I ran this through the laminator 4 times because you really want to make sure that you get a good seal all the way around, and sometimes it takes several times to do that. And then when I trimmed around where it was laminated, I just made sure I had a good enough border all the way around so that it wouldn't come apart later. So now I'm just taking a Dollar Tree pair of, what do you call these, needle nose pliers, and I'm just opening up the little O-ring that is around the charm and putting the tag in there. I want to position it so that the original charm with the car and the tree are always going to be on top and the tag is going to be on the bottom. I'm not going to have an issue with that. but it was a little tight. It's just, close up working with those pieces, and the little O-ring flew away when I was trying to close it back earlier. So now I'm just taking my time and closing it back on there so that I can have them all together, the card and then the tag, and then I just take my lobster claw clasp and just hook it on the elastic that is all the way around. And then I think it's adorable. Now it's definitely longer than what I was thinking, because I don't know, I guess I've been doing a lot with my A5s, and oh, the toilet is running, if y'all can't hear that. Okay, stop it. I should have closed that door. All right, and so I just kept positioning it until I could get it where it looked good to me. So I'm happy with it now. And now I'm going to work on the pocket. If it didn't make sense, what I was saying earlier is our toilet has been running a little bit every now and then, just out of nowhere. It'll start making that noise. And I usually try to remember to close the door in there before I do a voiceover, but I forgot today. So that was what I was talking about. So now I'm just going to make a pocket, like those stick-on pockets you can get in the dollar section at Target. Well, I'm just going to make one out of a sheet protector. But I'm not talking about the really thin, flimsy sheet protectors like the ones they have at Dollar Tree, and they have them at Walmart and Office Depot and all that too. I'm talking about the heavy-duty ones because they're nice and thick. The plastic is really strong. And so this one I think I had already cut. No, I had not cut out of it yet. So I'm just cutting a pocket, or cutting the size, tracing rather. I took the ruler and I measured the size that I want the pocket to be to go in that space. And now I'm just going to cut that little square or rectangle out, because it's already a pocket, right? So it's so easy. The left side and the right side are already tightened, they're already secure. And so what I'm going to do is just glue the bottom level of that open pocket, and then I'm going to leave on the right side just an open pocket. I don't know if that makes sense. So like when you're making a traveler's notebook insert or something, and you want a pocket that's sealed just on the left and the bottom, and it's got a little opening on the right, so it's just easier to tuck things in and out. Well, that's what I'm doing right there. There you see me using the corner rounder just on that little piece. So that is what the top will be like. So I'm just taking some of my favorite Dollar Tree permanent double-sided tape and putting it around for the back of the pocket to secure it. But later on I realized I forgot to do the top layer, so I had to add that on. But I realized that this double-sided tape still probably is not going to adhere permanently to that fabric, because I've tried to do that before and it does not stay. It does for a little bit, but not permanently. So what I decided to do is just take some of the Dollar Tree craft glue, the really nice tacky glue, and I'm going to put that on top of the double-sided tape. And that double-sided tape just kind of acts as a border for where I want to put the glue. And because I have a bad habit of using way too much glue, then what I decided to do is just put a little bit at a time on a folded up piece of, sticky tab? Yeah, folded up piece of sticky tab, and just dip it in there with a Q-tip. And it's half of a Q-tip. I've shared this in a video before, that a lot of times you only need one half and then you throw the other half away. Well, I break it off and keep that other half for future projects. So whether it's in the bathroom needs or craft needs. So I just put the glue on there, and then I just stuck it right there where I want the pocket to go. And now I'm just using my bone folder to really smooth out the surface and make sure that I get a really good seal. And I am so happy about this. I think it turned out perfect. It gave it a really good seal, and now I just need stuff to put in there. So now there's another Dollar Tree card, and I'm just cutting around it's a snowman, and then there's like some sort of white leaves, decorative leaves around it, and I'm just cutting around those leaves, sort of making it a semicircle, not a semicircle, sort of an oval circle. I was going to try to add some of the holly and stuff that was at the bottom, but the shape didn't really look right. But it looks really cute there in the pocket. That's so easy, right, for a die cut? So now I have another Dollar Tree card. All of these were in my last haul, and I'm just going to cut out this snowman. Now the snowman kind of looks like he has almost a little skirt or just a little extra piece of snow to the right, and I was going to cut around that and leave that, but it didn't look right to me, so I cut it off. And now I am finally realizing that I could be using my teeny tiny Dollar Tree scissors to cut around all these crevices that I want to get around. So I decided to cut around all the little openings except for between the bird and the snowman, because that would have been too fragile and really unnecessary. So I'm just cutting all the other little pieces all around it so that it will be a really nice die cut. And all I had to do was stick it in the pocket right there. Okay, you guys. Now I've got another one I'm going to do, and I think I'm going to speed up the cutting on this one because you've seen me cut over and over and over so far in the video. So I'm cutting out these gingerbread men from this Dollar Tree card, and also these mugs of hot cocoa from this Dollar Tree card. And then I'm just going to use the tiny scissors to get all around really well around all the crevices. Now I decided that I wanted to use or leave the cinnamon sticks that are inside of these mugs, but in the end I only kept the bigger mug because they're not exactly the same size. The gingerbread men are almost exactly the same size, but the mugs, one of them is bigger than the other one. So I wound up in the end keeping the cinnamon sticks in the big one, but having to cut off the cinnamon sticks in the smaller one because it was shaped differently and it wouldn't really fit where I wanted it to. And you'll see that in a little bit. So these are some Dollar Tree foam sheets that I have here. They're so thin, you guys. I had no idea they were that thin, but that's okay. So I'm using, oh, if you'd heard that, that was my husband not sneezing, blowing his nose. I don't know if you guys heard that. My beautiful, wonderful husband has the loudest nose blowing ever, but he can't help it. So, and who knows, sometimes I think you guys will hear like sounds will pick up in the recording, and sometimes they don't pick up at all. But just in case, I try to explain what they are. So now I'm just using, again, that Dollar Tree craft glue, which I love, to glue each of these die cuts onto the foam board. So I have to I have to glue one layer, so the biggest layer or the biggest mug, onto the foam board first, and then cut around that because I need to make sure that I have enough of the foam board to cover everything because they're not exactly the same size, the two mugs. So I'm just using my bone folder to press down in there, and then I'm going to glue also the gingerbread man, the first of the two layers of the gingerbread man. And then I'm going to just really press them down onto the foam board. Man, I was really layering that glue. So I'm pressed down on the foam board. Not foam board. Yeah, foam. On the foam. I don't know. I'm calling it foam board, but it's not foam board. It's just craft foam. And so I am cutting around that to have a nice little decorative red border around each piece, which is so cute. I really like the way these look. They're kind of big, but that's okay. We might as well go over the top, right? Alright, so then I need to glue the other side. Now I did this one a little backwards, I think. When I did the next one with the mugs, I think I did it a lot easier. So first I was trying to glue that to the back before putting in the paper clip, which, by the way, these are going to be paper clips. And then I realized afterwards, well, the paper clip isn't on here. So, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on there, and I'm going to stick it on there, and then I'll be like, I need a paper clip. So, alright, I don't know why I'm doing this voiceover and the recording is acting a little weird, so I'm not sure how it's looking for you guys, but I apologize if there's a little slowdown in the video, but I think it'll pick up. Okay, so now I am realizing again, like I said, I need to put the paper clip on there. So then I took the glue and I put it on, I took the paper clip, put it on the gingerbread man, then put the glue on top of that, which wasn't the wisest. So you'll see me later on the mugs. What I did was I put the paper clip on the foam board and then put the mug on top of that. And that was just a lot better. Because here I'm like lifting up I had already put the gingerbread man on there, removed it, so that took some of the glue off, or maybe dried it, some of it in the process. And now I'm having to feel like, okay, I need to add more glue to the paper clip, and I need to add more glue on the edges. And so, yeah, that I just didn't think about that I think I just forgot when I started making it just completely when I got to the other side that I was making this paper clip. I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, now I'm just trying to backtrack and hopefully it'll be secure. So when I press my hand down there, even though it looks like I only did it for a second there, I did it for a long time. Well, not a long time, but probably like a minute. I just really pressed my hand down on there. So now I'm on the back of the mug, and now you see I put the paper clip down first, and now I'm going to put a generous amount of glue all around the paper clip, and that will help that secure. Plus there'll be glue on the back of this mug, and everything should work out a lot better. Now I gotta tell you, they both worked out just fine. I made sure that they dried for hours before I kept them permanently or positioned them permanently over paper inside of the traveler's notebook. But it just seemed like it was an easier process doing it this way. Just putting the paper clip down, the glue on top of the paper clip, and then glue on the mug, and then the mug on top of everything. And so I put pressure both times on everything, and I made sure to put a lot of pressure around where the paper clip was without breaking the paper. So now I'm just speeding this up really quickly because, again, you guys know I'm just cutting this out, but I'm using my little tiny scissors, and they worked out so well around this. So I'm just cutting out a couple of ornaments that were on another Dollar Tree greeting card, but I am leaving a lot of those little decorative elements, and so it worked out really well that time. And now I'm just really trying to figure out, how do I want to position those ornaments on here with the real pretty snowman there, because I don't want to cover him up too much because I think he's fantastic, but I also like the ornaments also. So I think that turned out the way I left it right there. And now I'm putting the paper clips on a couple of different pages. These are some December dailies that I started doing last year and did not finish. It looks like I only went through the 5th of December. So I'm just going to pick them up this year. And I did do a video of creating those pages. I'm going to just pick that up this year and just put the year and of what day I'm on when I do what I do this year. So now I'm just putting the paper clips in there, and yeah, and that's everything, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna really do a good flip through so you can see how everything looks all together. I'm so excited. I'm excited for Christmas. I know it's early, but I want to do a lot of planner DIYs and a lot of DIY Christmas decor, and I have to get started early so that when the holidays really get here, when Thanksgiving is all over, I can really lay back and enjoy it. So that's how everything looks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and also comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time just to watch my videos. If you'd like to see some of my different photos from my creative ventures and adventures, just go to @OrganizedPlannerChic on Instagram. Also, I have 2 Facebook groups. The one for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways. We just finished one. I've got to announce the winner. And then we also post just about every day with all different types of videos and lives and all that good stuff. And then the one for local individuals is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ. There we normally meet in person, but because of COVID, we've been doing everything on Facebook, and we will probably, hopefully, start meeting again in person outside the first weekend in November, because in Phoenix it is not cold in November, I promise you. And then if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!